Well, hello. Welcome to Wisdom Wednesday. I have Angela Jr. and a clean diaper. I made sure because I would have been screwed. Let's see if I can get through this video before something stinky happens. I hope so. Anyway, today is November 25th, 2020. And so I'm going to read from Proverbs 25. And let's see. Like I said last time, I'm not going to read all of it. I'm just skimming through to, see stuff that's good, and anything that pops in my mind, I'll share. Let's see. Proverbs 25, 4 and 5. Remove the dross from the silver, and a silversmith can produce a vessel. Remove wicked officials from the king's presence, and his throne will be established through righteousness. So since we don't really have a king, I'll just say, I'll say the president or government officials, because we don't have kings and queens over here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm a queen. I know about y'all, but the only house I rule over is mine. Let's see here. I like that. Remove wicked officials from the government, I'll say, and his throne will be established through righteousness. I don't even need to say anything because it's pretty just what it is. Proverbs 6. Hold on. Do not exalt yourself in the king's presence. Do not claim a place among his great men. It is better for him to say to you, "Come up here," than for him to humiliate you before his nobles. That one made me think a second, and I wrote, don't prop yourself up out of pride. Let others speak well of you. Be humble, because your reputation will take you far. You know, it's like, when other people are like, hey, have you heard of so-and-so, what they're doing good? I feel like you just get a good reputation and then you rise up with that. I could be wrong. It's just my random thought that I have in my head. Let's see. Okay. Proverbs 25:8. What you have seen with your eyes, do not bring hastily to court. For what will you do in the end if your neighbor puts you to shame? Oh, all these, this is a meaty chapter, I tell you, and very on point with what's going on today. Whatever side you're on, or sides, because there's more than two sides, by the way. The world ain't black and white. There's a lot of stuff in between. We're not just skeletons. We have meat and all that stuff that make us who we are. And there's a lot of people with different points of views. And everyone thinks that their point of view is right. What I wrote here is, I'm so sorry about me. In the morning with my allergies, I get so, and it's hard to talk, but bear with me. I wrote, make sure that what you have seen with your eyes is the full story before jumping to a conclusion. Question gossip, question rumors, question the government, question the media. Seek out the truth before you set your judgment. You know, we live in a world of sound bites and little tiny clips, and everyone's just sharing one side. I propose that whenever you go to share an article or something from like any news source that you choose, there's the mainstream sources that I tend to stay away from because I've literally witnessed over and over them taking like taking a clip and then shortening it and then creating a whole like drama thing. It's like high school, and it's really irritating, and it's just so obvious. But maybe it's obvious to me only because I took the time to, see what's been going on. Anyway, I propose that if you were going to post an article bashing whichever side you were trying to bash, take about a half an hour and see exactly what the other side is saying about that. I feel like a lot of sides exaggerate sometimes, and you can find the truth somewhere in the middle. Or you can start to spot who is in it for truth or who's in it for money. Because everyone has this, I think a lot of people in media just like being seen, like being heard, like getting clicks. So, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to be successful. So there's a drive for success, of course, and you have to go with the market, whatever. But when that market is tearing the country apart, I feel like there's a lack of integrity. So truth matters. And just because someone says truth, science, meh, they're not saying anything. They're just saying the words. And I feel like it's becoming a source of bullying. If you don't believe what I believe, or you're not picking a side, then you're a bigot, you're a racist, you're a white supremacist. I'm like, well, stop calling people just random names, because no one's gonna stop and listen to you if your first approach is a knife into the chest. You wouldn't listen to someone if they came at you like that. No one. I wouldn't. I would be like, I probably would just walk away, because or maybe I'd say some choice words. I'm trying to be better, y'all. I'm trying not to go off, but I've got a lot better. My first reaction used to be to just like ball up my fist and punch. But thankfully I've grown past that with the help of a good friend of mine. Maybe I'll tell y'all that story later. I don't have time. I want to keep this video under 10 minutes. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, so find out what everyone's saying. And if one side is saying, or whichever side is saying, only listen to their side, that is a red flag. And that is a clear sign of trouble. Do not trust any person or source of anything that says, only listen to our side. We are the bearers of truth. That's a sign of pride, and pride comes before the fall. You gotta encourage people to get other points of views, even if you don't, even if you don't believe in those points of views. And everyone is human. Everyone is, everyone has error. Everyone makes mistakes. So, I'm telling you, don't you dare just listen to what I say. You had better get other people's thoughts, and not just anyone. People who you see are trying to do things right. Like, if you take advice from someone who has no experience in anything, that's not real advice. That's silly. And I've done that before, which is why I know how stupid it is, because I've screwed myself so many times. Anyway, this video is going to be way too long. I have to just accept it. And this chapter is way too meaty. It's just full of really good stuff. Anyway, so that was Proverbs 25:8 that had me going off for like 5 minutes. I'm so sorry. No, I'm not. Just kidding. Anyway, but yeah, so I'll read that again. What you have seen with your eyes, do not bring hastily to court. Do not quickly pass it on social media. For what you do in the end, for what will you do in the end if your neighbor puts you to shame? And a lot of times things are actually debunked. And then we're spreading rumors on all sides. And, You know, there's extremists and crazy people in every area of the world. But you know what? If we make gossip spread, then we are part of the problem. And I can't do that no more. It's so easy to click share. It just is so easy to click share. Angela, get back with it. I am just all over the place in my brain. All right. Let's see here. What's this? Proverbs 5:14. Like clouds and wind without rain is one who boasts of gifts never given. I put a note that said, don't make promises that you don't intend to keep. Some people are schmoozers and they tell you exactly what you want to hear to get what they want. And the moment they get what they want, that promise disappears. And they think that their, I guess their charm or whatever will keep it going. It's like, but yo, you need to produce something, because you're losing my trust here. And it's like, yeah, that makes sense. Like clouds and wind without rain. It's like, where's the rain at? Like all the signs of rain are here, but there's no rain. It's like, oh, this person is so nice. They're so good. I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give you this. And then this never happens. I know. Angela Jr. said, I know that's right. Let's see here. Okay. Oh my gosh, this one makes me feel so embarrassed because, okay, let me read it to you. Proverbs 25:16. If you find honey, eat just enough. Too much of it, and you will vomit. Seldom set foot, this is 17. Seldom set foot in your neighbor's house. Too much of you, and they will hate you. And that is so funny to me, and it's very wise. It's true. Like, even if you love people, you can't be like bothering them all the time, like going over their house every second of the day, calling them every second of the day, just going over all the time, assuming that you're always welcome, because people need their space. And this is something that I didn't learn till later on in life, and I was not taught boundaries. I didn't understand, people's space, and I almost lost friends over it because I just kept showing up and just being there without asking permission because we're friends. And, it was one of those hard lessons that I'll never forget because the sting of it was so sharp. And I used to think that the Bible was just like, don't do this because why. But as I get older and I'm starting to read, there's so many things, like if I had got this wisdom in my heart and learned about this beforehand, or if I was taught these things, I would have prevented a world of hurt. And, all these things are written to prevent us from getting hurt. There's a lot of stuff in here that I'm telling you, like when I read it, I'm like, I wish I knew that before. Or I wish I didn't just judge everything without even reading it, because everyone's like, oh, don't read that. Don't listen to God. God's just a man. But it's not true. And, these things are in place because no parent wants to see their kid get hurt. You can tell them these things, but we have free will and we have the choice to do right and wrong. And we also choose to feel the consequences, and it doesn't feel good. Anyway. Let's, I'm gonna end on this one. 25, 21, and 22. If your enemy is hungry, give him food to eat. If he is thirsty, give him water to drink. In doing this, you will heap burning coals on his head, and the Lord will reward you. Let's see. Let's see what, this is a study Bible, so let's see what the study Bible says for that. It says, for heap burning coals in his head. It says, an expression that may reflect an Egyptian expiation ritual in which a guilty person, as a sign of repentance, carried a basin of glowing coals on the head. In other words, by being kind to your enemy, you cause them to become red in the face, example, embarrassed or humiliated, and it moves their hearts to repent. I guess because when you do the opposite reaction, and again, this can be used for today. I gotta start walking because Angela Jr. doesn't like to sit too long. When someone's mean to you, or someone says something crazy to you, oh, there's something on my nose. What is that? It's a piece of cookie. I was like stuffing my face with Nilla wafers and drinking coffee. I don't know how long it was there, but I apologize. Let me make sure I'm good. Sorry, y'all. When someone does something to offend you, and you act naturally, it makes sense. You know, we have a justified anger, but does it change anything? It just keeps everyone on edge, and nothing happens. It becomes a pissing contest. But when someone offends you, and you don't take the bait from them or yourself, because we can bait ourselves into responding in a snippy, snappy way. It's like, you know what, I'm going to get you. I'm going to show you how wrong you are. It doesn't do anything. And we can puff ourselves up. We could think we're so moral. We can virtue signal all we want. But until we learn to respond in love, and love does not mean gushy feelings. Love is a decision. To be quiet sometimes, or to just not engage, or to actually, how do I say this? Just don't respond the way that they would expect you to. If someone curses you out, they're going to expect you to get mad. It's like, you know what? You're obviously bothered. You have a nice day. I'll talk to you later. Don't even address it. There's this guy named Daryl Davis. And if you haven't heard about him, he's this jazz musician who, he's a black man, and he has converted so many members of the KKK out of that lifestyle because he actually tried to understand what's going on. There's a difference between being just like a jerk, or when you're taught to believe something, you really believe it. It's out of an innocent ignorance. You don't know. And the only way to know is to learn. And the only way to learn sometimes is when someone shows you love and doesn't come at you with a sword. And that's what the world's teaching everyone, to go at each other with a sword. And that's why the world is getting just really upset. It's because we're not being taught to be humble, be patient, to love. Everyone yells love, but then they want to cut off the head of their opponent. That's not love. It's not love. And God loves us all. And, He wants everyone's heart to be healed. And, maybe I'll post more and talk about my favorite stories of Jesus, but it's profound. Because, every step He took on earth was intentional. And He just loved people. He didn't come at them like, you evil sinner, blah, blah, blah. He was like, you're forgiven. Don't sin anymore. That's it. He's like, you're forgiven. And I think a lot of people need Jesus. A lot of people need love. I'm not talking the Jesus that, the media makes him out to be, or people who haven't taken the time to understand who he is, or some people like to just use his name to win an argument. But, it is what it is. I'm gonna end this video now because Angela Jr. is too noisy. She's too noisy right now, and I can't even think. And it's just off the cuff thoughts. So there's a lot of pauses and whatever. But anyway, I'll post again next Wednesday with Wisdom Wednesday. I'm not sure what day that's gonna fall on, but whatever proverb it is, I'll read it and I'll give some commentary. Anyway, and I highly suggest y'all reading the in-between months. Not months, chapters. Like tomorrow's the 26th, so read the 26th. And you can post your thoughts in the comments or send me a message and tell me something that you learn, or I don't know. I'm just trying to grow, and I hope y'all grow with me. Anyway, love y'all.